Let's continue. How's the marketplace doing? So earlier we learned about test all assumptions. How was last year? You comparing your performance or the things that you have done from the past campaigns. How much did you spend? Now it says there, how's the marketplace doing? Do you think that the campaign that you are thinking will still be effective? Budgets are created for internal use, but your business is heavily influenced by external forces. What happens when the economy takes a beating? Can you thrive through bad weather, an economic downturn, stiff competition, transportation, and labor disruptions? How will you do? At the current marketplace, what are your observations? Do you think people are spending at this time? May mga changes pa, drastic changes that you are noticing? Sa salon industry ba, Yorlin, in the beauty industry, is there any drastic changes?
Yes, sir. Actually, we are doing some changes, especially especially na bago lahat yung budgets namin, um, nung nagka-pandemic. Nung nagka-pandemic
Mm.
and then dumami yung
Bumaba ba yung
competitors
services
namin.
nyo? O bumalik na kayo? Bumaba tapos bumalik ulit?
Yes, sir. Nagbago yung prices namin, bumaba kami nung nag-pandemic and then ngayon binalik na namin siya with higher prices, which is I think all the markets are doing it right now. Although it's not right na nagdagdag kami ng mas sobra compared dun sa previous price namin before pandemic, but for the business to survive, ganun na rin talaga yung ginagawa ngayon.
Say for example, ano ba yung hit ngayon? Yung FIFA, di ba? Going to Doha won't be, there will be some requirements katulad ng pag-ticket. Tumaas kaya ang mga ano doon, hotel, tumaas ang mga accommodation. Yung dati na 2.5, ngayon 4.5. 4.5 na yung rental. So, dahil
So
doon sa
I
event,
think I think they are basing it on the seasons or event na mangyayari.
oo, that's the marketplace, no? How's the marketplace doing? Ideal ba na ikaw, kung ikaw marketing, magka-capitalize ka ba doon? Katulad nung example that we did last time. Because of FIFA, um, yung mga live viewing channels would sell it for say 20 or 30 dirhams ata yung subscription for the whole season of FIFA. So ibig sabihin, lalapitan yung bar, sports bar or um, sports lounge. Bebentahan, bili po kayo ng subscription para doon sa FIFA, i-play nyo dyan. Tapos habang nagla-live, pwede nyong i-market yon doon sa mga tao na pwede silang pumunta na manood ng FIFA doon sa ano ninyo, doon sa bar ninyo or doon sa inyong lounge. So may mga ganong klase ng ano. So dahil sa FIFA, nagtataas yung kanilang rate, yung subscription. Afford ba? Maganda ba? Magre-return ba tayo? Naiisip niyo yung budget doon. Kikita kaya tayo dito? Magkakaroon ba tayo ng FIFA promotion? Kasi that's it's a World Cup, no? So everyone is looking at it, especially European countries, some of the Asian countries that plays football. In the Philippines, it is not our sports. It's either basketball or beauty pageant. Yan ang basketball, beauty pageant, boxing. Yan ang mga ano natin eh. International involvement when it comes to sports. What is costing? Your accounting should be able to explain every dirhams you spend on marketing efforts, including hiring a consultant, contracting a writer, printing postcards. Remember to ensure that overhead costs like mortgage, rent, utilities, and department that do not produce direct revenue like IT, human resources, and training are all worked into the numbers. Know how much you are spending, where you are spending it, and when. So do you think it will be ideal for you to involve the FIFA in your business, because that's what everyone will be talking about? Will you create promotions for it? Will you create a campaign relating to it? So we tend to do that. Costings, like, events in our like things that we do yearly. Christmas. Here, in the UAE, unlike other GCC countries, nakakapag-ano kaya kayo? Dito sa UAE, like Christmas decors? Back in Doha, no. We won't see any Christmas related decors in the mall. Unlike here, there are. Back in Doha, because the National Day is on December as well. So there will be fairy lights, yung parang yung Christmas light natin. But they don't want to call it as Christmas lights because they don't have Christmas. Pero because it's National Day, so that will be decorated. So those are the things that you would consider, um, the things that people are talking about, and how much is the cost for that? How much are we spending? Where are we spending it for? And when? Managing your budget. Pakibasa naman ito, Yoreline, managing your budget.
Managing your budget. If you don't follow the budget, your people won't either. You've got to manage to spend, and you need to come in at or slightly below the budget. Resist an urge to go even slightly over budget. Instead, consider what things you can economize on and which priorities can wait. Set an example of fiscal responsibility within the company. Always keep in mind that if you go over budget by 3%, so does everyone else with the budget responsibilities. You are creating a deficit that has to be overcome by immediately increasing sales.
It says there, resist your urge to go slightly over the budget. Because if there's a campaign, if you are given a project, or if you're given like the money to spend for it, you tend to think about all the possibilities. It's tempting for you to spend everything. But again, we're trying to maximize as much as possible. Be thrifty. Saan tayo makakatipid? Priorities. Consider things that can economize. Probably there are still projects. So kung saan tayo makakatipid, in other words, when you do the managing of the budget. It's really, as much as I want to like explain it further, but that's the point of it. So saan tayo makakatipid sa managing your budget? That's where we go. Know your accruals. Pakibasa naman, Lani. Lani, you're already there. Yan, nakamute ka, Lani.
Hello.
Yes,
Naligaw ako
pakibasa.
bigla. Naligaw ako, sorry. Ako, sir? Ako talaga.
Yes, know your accruals.
1 minute.
Ano?
Know your accruals. Cash is pretty easy to count because it's either there or it isn't. The thing that gets new business owner into trouble is the accruals. If you pay cash for something, the amount is debit. from your bank account. However, if you purchase something on a credit card or use purchase order, you don't pay for it right away, even though you can use whatever you purchase. If you have several orders placed in 1 month but do not intend to pay the bill until the next month or in the next business year, you may be stunned by accumulation of those costs, just like the hidden eyes under the an birds.
Iceberg, yes.
Iceberg.
Accrual, the accumulation or increase of something over time, especially payments or benefits. So, okay, so we would also consider if the charges or the amount that we will spend or the amount or the cost will give us like interest. You might need to borrow money for a certain project, and then we didn't like foresee that there will be a higher cost afterwards. So those are the things that we also consider. Are we getting this budget that is um like will be still, or in the later run there will be a interest? So ibig sabihin mas mapamamahal pa pala tayo. So that is knowing your accruals. We want that wala tayong utang in the long run. Nagigets nyo? So kung magkakaroon kayo ng budget, ideally what we're trying to foresee here is there will be return. So we also consider that if we will spend something and then we'll end up not getting the revenue for that, eh di parang nagkaroon pa tayo ng utang pala. We end up having debt for that certain campaign or project. Because if it's like a yearly project or like a long-term campaign, and then we did not foresee that there will be not enough return, then lugi kayo sa project nyo. Nagigets nyo ba yung portion na ito? Knowing your accruals. So ang idea dyan is when we set our budget, there will be a measurement and that there will be a return for your company. In accruals accounting, you count the money for those credit card or deferred payments right away. So there is no delay in seeing what money is going to come out of your bank. Accruals on purchases count the same way as your sales. Cash accounting will only show you receive a payment when it arrives. Accrual accounting, however, will count the same now even if delivery of your customer will take 7 days and their check won't arrive for 14 days after. Accruals accounting gives you an accurate picture of what is happening in the business. Although it takes some adjusting to it, you are used to cash accounting. There is also some discretion. With accruals accounting, as you debate whether something is considered sold at the time of the order or with delivery. There are challenges with both types of accounting. For example, revenues look short at the end of the year. Managers may be inclined to report revenues and wait to recognize costs in the next year. This puts a slant on your reporting that will have a fix later anyway. So make sure that your auditing functions are clear and tight, whichever method you use. That's true, no? Kasi sometimes, in a certain project, sabihin natin yung example ko kanina, Oktoberfest, you are aiming that for the event, magkakaroon ka ng mga parokyano or like clients, that the regulars that would go to your sports lounge. So you are aiming na kikita ka. So sasabihin mo dun sa source mo ng cheese, sa source mo ng sausages, sa source mo ng beer. Okay, can we issue you a post-dated check that will take 60 days? Because we're trying to check if kikita pa kami eh. Ibig sabihin, hihiramin mo muna yung puhunan mo doon sa budget mo. Sige, bigyan mo kami ng ganitong 1,000 cases. Kasi we're aiming to finish it, maubos namin ng buong October. So, yun muna yung kukunin namin for the meantime. Bigyan mo din kami ng 1,000 kilos of sausages, different flavors. So wala kang binilabas na pera doon, pero may cheque kang in-issue. Gigets nyo? Eh paano pala kung hindi kumita yung project nyo, yung campaign nyo, hindi may utang ka. Pero may babayaran ka. Gets? Lani? Gets? John?
Yes, gets ko, sir.
So ibig
Ibig
sabihin,
sabihin, sir,
yeah, Lani.
kung magbibigay ka ng pera or investment, parang wala kang assurance na you have return like that.
There is,
Para,
no? So, dapat mapuforce mo, malulugi ba tayo? So, doon ka as a marketer, doon ka magpupush ngayon. Ay, medyo mataas yung expenses pala namin. Nag-issue kami ng ganito, order mo na. Kasi may mga ganun din eh, sa supply chain. Instead of them paying it outright, iaano mo na, i-promise to pay. We'll pay it after 60 days. Pero, business sa kanila yun kasi naka-deliver ka. Eh, sa 1,000 cases ng beer mo, ang naubos mo lang dahil nag-forecast ka, ang naubos mo lang 500. Eh di negative ka ng ay ang aim mo doon sa project, maubos yung 1,000 na cases. So doon, yung case na yun, pwede mo na magamit hanggang December kasi siguro yung foresee mo. Pero ang initial forecast mo, maubos siya ng October lang.
yes.
Yan. Eh, wala ka naman nilabas na pera at the moment. Pero inutang mo
Nangutang
ka.
ka lang.
Okay. May ganun cases.
Yan yung business ko, sir. Nangutang ako. Hindi
Magpapautang ka?
naubos. Nangutang ako, hindi naubos. So, bali may utang ako talaga.
Oh, yeah, what kind of business? What
natin.
business was that?
Ukay-ukay, sir.
Stage 5, implementing and evaluating. So in this part, we will understand if the campaign, the budget that you put out there is effective. Is it something that we can use again in the future? What are the things that we've done wrong? How can we make it better? Once you have decided what you are doing and taken actions, you'll start to evaluate results. Is it effective? Is it useful? Make revisions as needed and keep going. Remember that marketing is a cyclical process. At any time in the cycle, you may need to return to an earlier stage to fix some problem. If you are in the midst of pricing and realize that the product is not going to be affordable for your market segment, you'll have to step back and adjust. So given the example earlier, how much is the home in Dubai? Via said earlier that she watched a promotion. In other instances, the product will be launched and will sell in greater volume than you could have imagined. Then you will need to consult with production to make sure that they can keep up with the demand. Then the competition may launch a generic version of your own masterfully created and marketed product under pricing and even taking a loss in order to gain part of your hard-won marketplace. It's back to marketing drawing board and possibly even a review of company's strategic plan. So you implement and evaluate. You implement the project. Our example here earlier was that exchange. So they have probably seen from their competition exchange company or for remittance company that it worked. They have a lot of transactions because people tend to hope. It's a regular thing that you send money every month. What if you give people hope that with just merely doing the things that you do regularly, that you will have a chance to win something.